Hey, I'm the girl who argues with you about dead soldiers on the internet. My video is making the rounds again, so I need to introduce some people to what I'm about. So first and foremost, fuck this whole administration. Fuck Pete Hegseth. Fuck Donald Trump. I'm not here to tell you to trust them because I do not trust them. I'm here to tell you that the bureaucracy will always win. I'm here to tell you that the fascists want us scared, and you need to arm yourself with knowledge so you can stay calm and we can get through this. I'm here to tell you that reality is terrible enough on its own. So terrible, in fact, that we don't need to make up dead soldiers to further our points about these things. Hundreds of dead children. Is this not enough for you? With that said, I need to explain to you why it is not possible for a mass conspiracy cover-up of dead to happen. So we need to talk about what it takes to create systemic change in the military. Something happened over the weekend. Donald Trump, via truth or tweet or whatever the hell he's doing, ordered the Navy to block the Strait of Hormuz. And then it made the news shortly after that that the Navy was letting a Chinese ship through. Do you know why this is? This happened because the president tried to command by tweet before his policy, his order was actually directed to that ship. So that ship is not going to go on Twitter and say, oh, the president ordered us to do something today. That is not how the military works. They are not commanded by the ravings of a lunatic on Truth Social. We do not have to worry about that. When people come at me and say, I don't know what happens on the ground, I was on the ground. These are the same regulations that are in place. You will see me cite DODIs, which are DoD instructions, and there are regulations. There are also internal things that not everyone can see called MILPER messages, which is probably how something would go down if there was a change. In order for a whole military-wide policy regulation to change, this takes time. My job in the Army was knowing regulation and advising individuals on regulation. I've mentioned I'm autistic before. I was the human Google of my office. People often came to me and said, can we do this? And I would have to go find if we could do this. This is why I am so good at getting in the regs and translating these things to you, because it was my job for a long time. And it kind of continued to be my job in helping my husband in his job. In order for a whole policy, a whole systemic change to occur, there's going to be paperwork. Pete Hegseth can't just send emails and say, okay, we're not telling anyone about dead soldiers anymore. And if he tried to do that, guess what's going to be in the media 5 minutes after that's done? We are seeing it over and over and over again. People are leaking. It is a big deal when an active duty service member goes to the media. And what are we seeing out of Kuwait? We're seeing discontent, and we're seeing, hey, they're lying. We're not going to let them lie. And I will not stop reiterating that these are humans in the military. There's not total mind control of them. If something crazy comes down, if a new policy memo drops and says, hey, for the mission, we're not telling people about dead soldiers, there's going to be problems. I can tell you, as a human resource specialist, guess what I had access to? Family information. That was my job. My job was to know who the next of kin was. It was to know who we were notifying when people died. If I was told that we're not telling people anymore, guess who I'm calling, knowing that they aren't being notified. I would directly call the family. I've mentioned how personal deaths are to military units before. They are personal. The deaths I dealt with on the rear detachment in 2010, when my unit was forward in Afghanistan, I knew every single person who died. I knew them. On a personal level, some of them were my friends. Some of them I had deployed with before. I'm not going to be okay hiding it. No one's going to be okay hiding it. So I firmly believe we need to sit in reality. We need to stay calm. We need to not buy every conspiracy theory that comes at us. If you have questions, ask them. I'm a research dork. I will find the answer. I will find the answer. It's kind of funny. When I was in the Army, we were not allowed to say, I don't know. We always had to say, I do not know the answer to that question right now, but I will do everything in my power to find it for you, Sir Sergeant Major. And I will do everything in my power to find it for you. Again, Pete Hegseth is not involved soon enough to cover up deaths. When someone dies, people are going to know. And if those deaths are hidden, people are going to talk. They could not hide the pilot. That leaked within hours of that pilot being missing. By regulation, it was supposed to be a 72-hour hold on that after his family was notified. That leaked to the media before his family knew. This administration is becoming famous for the leaking. They just cannot stop leaking because everyone is discontented and things are going wrong. So pay attention to that leaked information because they're leaking. They're not going to be able to hide a dead service member for long. They don't tell the media, that family is still going to know. I can guarantee you that. If they tried to put out guidance that said we are hiding dead soldiers, no one's going to be okay with that. That's going to leak to the media. So, Occam's razor. Pete Hegseth doesn't know how the Army works. Pete Hegseth doesn't know how the military works. He was a low level, maybe platoon leader for a very short amount of time. He was in the National Guard. I have more active duty time than Pete Hegseth. The things that Pete Hegseth is doing, he doesn't know he can't do. It's the same thing with these crazy executive orders, these one-star promotions that he pulled, illegal. I've established that in other videos. The denials of promotions outside of his scope, very likely illegal. He's doing things he doesn't know how to do. The guy doesn't believe in the rules of engagement. He's probably not listening to lawyers. It's likely that one day we will see a war crimes trial for Pete Hegseth. But we need to continue to stay in reality right now. We need to breathe. We need to not make up dead soldiers. We will know when there are dead soldiers. Got questions? Ask them. I will do everything in my power to find the answer. I'm Elle, former U.S. Army Human Resource Specialist, Iraq War veteran, alumni of the 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault, Strike, and stick around if you need me to demystify the Army for you, demystify the military for you, and keep you calm because we're getting through this.